Alright, I just wanted to make this video because something pretty neat happened and I just wanted to go over it. So this is what happens when a developer cares about their game. So about 2 years ago, which is a very long time, I covered a game called Alien Life Simulator. Now it wasn't the best game I played, but my policy is if anyone gives me a key, or if I request a game, back then I requested every single game I could, and I got a key, I would make a preview video on YouTube, a web article on my blog, and I would stream it for at least 1 hour on Twitch. Now, 1 hour is very short. I found that you need to play 4 hours minimum to get a feel for a game. But sometimes I had so many keys coming in that I just had to play as much as I could and then push out the coverage. So I got a comment. Thank you for checking out the game. I am working hard to improve the game and am also taking into consideration feedback and issues brought up by you and other people who have played the game since early access release. Now, 1 week ago, this dude left a comment again. He said, "Hey, this video and your feedback was really helpful to me improving the game. It's been 2 years and the game has come a long way. I'd love to see a follow-up video and see your reaction to how much it's improved." Now I love this because these days everything is run by automated like mass emailing lists where they're like, they know that you're a person who covers games, so you're on a mailing list and they'll send out emails and they're like, "Hey, you want to cover this game?" Then you click on this link and sign up for a key. It doesn't guarantee a key, right? And when you try to email someone, "Hey, thank you," or whatever, people rarely reply back. They just leave you on read. So to be able to interact with a live human who's willing to give you like a minute of their time is so rare. And I get it because as a person who used to cover a lot of games, I got very little coverage for the people who would give me keys. So in their mind, I'm not worth giving any attention to. So it's not true for everyone, but it's true for a lot of people that I run across. And this was great. It warms my cold, jaded heart when I see someone who cares about their game. So I was like, alright, I'll play it. So I started streaming, and in this specific stream, we got a dude dropping by. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He said it was from Norway, so I put the name into Google Translator, and apparently it's like Bjaxel. Hopefully I said it semi-correct. But yeah, this dude is one of the developers on the game. He did all the art stuff. And so I was playing the game and this guy was, here just being super helpful. I didn't backseat at all, which I appreciate. And I want to mention this tidbit here. I don't care if you're the developer. I don't care if you're a fan of the game. If you go into other people's streams and you're like, "Oh, this is how you play the game. Isn't this game so great?" Like overly positive, I'm gonna not like the game. Even if I was starting to like the game and I saw that behavior, I wouldn't like it. The reason being is when I play a game, I want to figure it out for myself. If someone wants to come in and tell me how to play it, it's not me playing the game. I'm just merely a puppet for that person. So please don't do that if you like a game, if you're a developer, if you're a mega fan, whatever you are. Please don't do that. It will color our perception of the game to be more negative. Anyways, so this guy came in, super chill fella. And I learned a lot about the game from this guy. So I was giving honest feedback because whenever I give feedback, I try to be as honest and direct as possible because the reality is I'm not here to make sure no one's feelings are hurt. I'm here to make sure that as a consumer, when you play a game and I covered it, it's as transparent as possible and as honest as possible so the person watching my coverage or reading it, listening to it, whatever, they can figure out if they actually want to buy the game or not. So it's my job to make sure I make it as accurate as possible. And for my feedback, it's just what I feel. So I don't hold back on it because I don't want to be nice, quote unquote nice to a developer when I know there are some flaws in the game. Now, whether or not those flaws are important or actual flaws, that's another matter. And I, make sure I tell the developers, hey, take my feedback with a grain of salt because I don't represent the majority of people playing games. I have a very short fuse in terms of patience because after covering about 500 games in 3 years, I want the game to get to the point as soon as possible, because that means I spend less time playing it so I can make my coverage faster. Now that's not a normal approach. But it's pretty close in that, you know, if you look at the numbers, it depends on which study you're looking at, but gamers will stop playing a game if the first 30 minutes isn't gripping. It might have shrunk nowadays thanks to TikTok and short attention spans. So I was giving some criticisms, and some of the criticisms I gave were like, oh, the pistol is kind of crappy because it doesn't do that much damage, and you gotta reload constantly, and the reload animation takes forever, and there's a swarm of enemies coming at you, and it's not a lot of fun to be shooting, and then you're like out of bullets, and then you gotta reload, and the reload animation takes forever, so you're constantly running, and there's a stamina mechanic, and I didn't really like that because for games with the stamina mechanic, it always has to be based on skill. Like in Dark Souls, there's a stamina meter so that you can't spam certain things. You have to space out the timings. For this game, I felt like the stamina wasn't as necessary. And there were a bunch of other feedback I gave, and you know what happened? This mad lad? This mad lad, he released an update the next day. Now, so here are the updates he released for the game. If you don't have a weapon equipped, you don't need stamina to run or jump, and running and jumping costs no stamina while you have no weapon equipped. Now this is fantastic because there's platforming in the game, and the platforming by far was the weakest portion, and having to manage your stamina made it no fun, right? And also it helps when you're trying to run away from a giant swarm of enemies, so I was like, wow, this is great. This is great. So here, guns would break if you reloaded and accessed the portal to go to another world. That's fixed now. That one I didn't run into, but he fixed it. And then image for a shrine on the map was still the old shrine. I didn't have a problem with that as well. And then sliders was showing for bodies even though there's nothing to slide to, no longer. I also mentioned this in the selection screen for the characters, there was a bar. And I was like, this is really confusing because it doesn't move, you know. Now for the balance changes, every gun has reload times reduced slightly besides the laser gun, which doesn't have to reload. Pistol and auto-targeting gun have their magazine increased by 1, and the health packs no longer drop from every enemy. They now only have a 60% to drop, but they heal for 40 health instead of 10. So this was something I talked about as well, where the health packs heal like 10, 12 health, and it was very frustrating because the health packs use stamina. So you're spamming it, and enemies can like, some of them can almost one-shot you. So it's not very satisfying to have to spam the health pack to heal, only to have to spam it again. So one of my suggestions was, you know, maybe have less health packs, but have them heal for more. And the guy put it in. And here's the craziest part. This guy did this on a laptop while on vacation. That's right. He was taking a break, and he was watching me stream on his phone. And then after watching my VODs, he put all of my complaints, all of my criticisms, he made changes to the game the next day. That's insane. And that's something I really don't see anymore, because I've only had a few developers drop by when I'm streaming their game, and most of them don't really care for criticism. Like, they might listen to it, but they don't actually make any changes. So they listen to it in terms of like, oh, okay, that's cool. But then nothing ever changes, right? And it shouldn't. I'm not saying I'm like an expert. People should listen to me. I'm not saying that. But like, this guy did it immediately while on vacation. That's insane. And that's insane. So this guy is definitely putting in the work, and not only that, he was leaving comments on my other videos. So he was taking the time to watch my videos and comment. Here, this was a video I made about the dangers of a metal BBQ grill brush, and he's like, dang, guess I'm never buying a metal grill brush now. Right? And he also left a comment here, was that a turkey sound at the end, and the duck is a champion, I'm sure he defeated the fish. Meaning he watched the video. So who does that, right? Who does that? He got nothing out of it. I didn't even make the video yet. The reality is, you know, at $20, the game is still pretty janky. It's rough. But now that I played it and I understand the game, I can definitely see the potential, especially if the guy keeps working on it. And this is a passion project of his. And I don't remember what the game was like exactly 2 years ago. I'm going to have to rewatch the footage and try to jog my memory. but it is pretty different now, and it's a lot better. Does it still need work? Yes, it does. But I thought it was crazy where in a world where people, they just want to make a game or make a product and just drop it on us, right? And then they expect it to go viral or expect it to do well immediately. And if it doesn't, they just give up on it and move on to the next project. This guy kept working on it for 2 years, and I think that's pretty cool. It's hard to find that nowadays. Hard to find someone who genuinely loves what they're doing. Even if like not a lot of people are playing it, it's genuinely cool that this guy's just doing it for the sake of doing it. He really loves making games, and he likes this game that he made. So I thought that was cool. I just wanted to make a video about this. I think this is a neat lesson for other developers where, if you're making something that you really like, one thing you can do is reach out to the people that are willing to cover or play your game and, kind of network with them. Because for me, hey, dude, since this guy reached out to me, I'm like, bro, I will do my best to cover the game. I'm not gonna upsell it. I'm not gonna lie about it. Okay, it's still janky and it could still use a lot of improvement. And another thing is, like, I genuinely want to help out people who are trying their best. That's what I want. I'm so tired of people, companies, big or small, publishers, developers, PR people, whatever, just expecting a lot of coverage for free and there's nothing in return except for a game key. And it's very demoralizing and very draining to kind of work in an environment where you're constantly treated as disposable, especially if you don't give them enough analytics for their product. And to me, someone who just cares about their game and is genuinely happy someone is playing it and covering it, that's awesome. I want to do my best to help that person succeed. So I'm here, and I'm going to do my best to cover the game. I'm still figuring out how to do it in order to get the most views possible. And I told the dude, hey, if you need any help working on the game, I'm here as well. I'll do it for free. I'm not going to do a lot because I'm very inexperienced in game dev. I've done coding, but not game dev. I dabbled with it, mostly for mobile formats, but I did a little bit of Unreal Engine as well. But yeah, I'm here to help, okay? If I do help in the game, all I want is a credit. Just put me in the credits. I can be like, yo, I worked on that game. But yeah, that's it. I think it's crazy to find people that are really passionate about what they do, especially when it doesn't seem like that it's paying dividends right away, So hopefully, dude, your game succeeds. I wish you the best of luck. I wish you the best of luck on this game, and I wish you the best of luck on your future endeavors. And I know you'll succeed because of the love and passion you're putting into what you're doing. Anyways, that's it. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll catch you guys next time.